What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, the Mad Crown, here on Matinee, giving you a review of Happy Sugar Life. Okay, I am still impressed by this episode, besides the fact that it only took place in just the apartment only. Besides the flashback, I was still impressed. However, there are some things they left out that I will fill in as the show goes by. So, after killing Shoko, it did put impact on her. So we all thought that she would just kill people and not think about it. That killing Shoko would not affect her any kind of way. But this was proven wrong. Despite how well Sato hid her feelings from Shoko, how hard she tried to pretend that she did not give one shit about her, this was incorrect. Turns out the whole entire time she did care about Shoko some kind of way, or else she wouldn't have been in this kind of state. She was just sitting there on the floor. She took her clothes off and tried to wash them, but she couldn't do that. She didn't wash the stains off the floor all the way. She just felt exhausted. She couldn't do anything. Because despite what she thought she felt, it wasn't true. Just like a lot of feelings in this show, they believe that this is their correct way of love and salvation, but they're only lying to themselves to make themselves feel better, to get that fix. And that's exactly what's going on here. But before all that, let's talk about the past. How Sato and Chio-chan met. And it all started out with the mom. Now, the way they did it, for the time they were given, they did okay. But I'm here to give you the bigger picture of what happened between the mom and Chio-chan. It all started before, when the mom was actually I believe, graduating to go to high school. I believe it was then, during the manga, during that time. See, we have to understand the personality of the mom. She was not a very smart person. She was a very slow learner, and she never knew what to do. She never decided anything on her own. She always had people decide things for her. And she could also never take no for an answer. No, she was a yes man kind of person. What I'm trying to say. No matter what situation she'll be put in, she couldn't say no. And that's where it came to make her life a living hell. She was just thinking about the future one day and she bumped into this guy. I kid you not. She bumped into this guy. And the guy got angry and just fully upset, just getting bumped into. Just said, oh, that's okay, my bad. No, this guy just went full shit bananas. And then she said she'll repay him anyway, and he took that on her offer. One way you could say he raped her, and others you could say it was consent because she couldn't say no for some reason. Like, really, like, you were that angry, like, he just took the opportunity and just pretty much had sex with her. And because of that, she became pregnant. And then she gave birth to Asahi. To keep this up, turns out the guy's father was a very rich, successful man, and he himself knew how bad his son was. So he says, you be clean and get yourself a job, work for my company, and I'll support you. But however, the two of them had to get married. So they got married, but however, he was barely home. Most of the time he was working or off probably with some other woman. But he would come in now and often, make sure things were okay, because the dad forced him to. Despite how the dad was in a way was manipulating her parents, for things to work out. Despite the fact that dad was still doing good, unlike the son. So then, Chio-chan was born, and things were still okay. In fact, things were actually pretty great for the mom and Chio-chan and Asahi. The dad was barely around, and because of that, they actually were happy. She was still able to talk to her parents. She wasn't able to talk for her father for a while, but the father got over it and they decided to talk. Okay, good thing so far. And the husband was barely anywhere to be seen in sight. So after a while, the husband's father and her parents were going to come visit them. However, as you know in anime, car accident happened and they died. So the father of the husband left them a big ass inheritance, a lot of money to give him. So instead of using his money to support the family, he used it on pleasuring himself, going out, being gone for months, and not even returning back. But she was okay with this. She was able to get a job, and she was able to have Asahi take care of Chio-chan. Nothing bad. Until the husband ran out of money, he came back, and then he forced her to work even more. So things went south from that direction. After then, Asahi had a plan where they would wait for him to die, and while Chio-chan and the mom would run away. The father didn't care much because it would mean less mouths to feed and less people to take care of. So the father didn't care. And then one day the father finally dies out, and then Asahi was happy. Then he decided to go find the mom and daughter where they promised to be a family again. Sure, they will struggle a lot, but they will be away from their tormentor. But however, during the same time, the mom was going through her own crisis. Like I said before, her mom was not a very smart person. She didn't have everything up there. And because of that, she really didn't know how to take care of herself, or even at least her own daughter. So she never let the daughter go outside because she feared that the father would find her, but the dad didn't even care at all about them, so she was worrying over nothing. But then one day she broke. Her jar broke. And she abandoned Chio-chan. And then left off. That was terrible. Then because of this, Sato found Chio-chan. And Chio-chan showed Sato a type of love that they both were yearning for. And because of that, that's how it all started. They went to the artist's house. The artist found out what was going on, tried to kill Chio-chan. She killed the artist, covered it up, and they're using his apartment. Now things are finally full circle. We have the complete idea of what's going on in Happy Sugar Life. So, does this justify anything? No. Would Chio-chan have been happier in an orphanage? Who could say? Put her in a good orphanage? Probably so. If she took care of Chio-chan instead of taking her somewhere else to get help, things probably might have been different. Who knows? But that's not the point here. That's for another video. Now let's finally get on to the story. What I said before in the last episode. What happens when Chio-chan starts to have self-awareness? What happens when this little girl starts to think more and more about situations and life itself? What will happen where she like, okay, this don't seem right, or she wants to do more things because she's older. Sato is only thinking about pleasuring her own self within the full of love, to fill her jar with sweet things, but nothing else. Like I said before, love isn't just about sweet things. It's about the bitter things, the things that drive you mad, crazy, sad. It forms up in a way. It gives you development, but however, Sato doesn't want that development. She only wants the sweet things. Because she herself isn't all the way up there, as you can clearly see. So because of this, it drives this very, in a way you could think, a one-sided relationship. Sato is treating her just like the mom did. Just like a doll. Don't want you to do anything but stay inside. I'll do everything for you. And Chio-chan obviously doesn't want this. She doesn't want this at all. This is just being a repeated treatment, in a way. As you can clearly see from the flashbacks. And because of that, Chio-chan wants to be in the loop more. As you see, as she'll get older and older, she's going to want to do more things on her own. As you clearly see, she was able to make curry and rice. Curry and rice at her age. That's pretty impressive. Especially for a girl who's never been to school or watched TV or anything like that. Because I know when we were kids, we would learn how to do some things by watching TV or going to school. She had neither of these things, but she was able to do it because she kept on watching Sato cook. That is impressive. And as you can clearly see, she was ignoring all the blood stains that were on the floor and even in the laundry room. She ignored all of that. What she was really concerned about is how she was being kept out of the loop by Sato. And this came to affect Sato later on, where Sato realized that maybe she was being selfish. Maybe she was treating Chio-chan as an inanimate object, a doll, as you could say. So she learned her lessons to let Chio-chan in more on what's going on. And the question is, how would Chio-chan take this? Will she take this as an I understand, or how could you kind of moment? We'll only conceive by then. So she's outside and she's saying this is her happiness now. She doesn't need the mom anyway. In a way, at first, before knowing this, you could say, you're right. You don't need this. In a way, the mom abandoned you, so you can't come back. That or it was just a mistake. Either way, to that child's mind, that's what happened. And that's how a lot of kidnappings happen as well. Parents mistreat their children, or the children will take it as being extreme mistreatment, and they'll walk off with someone that's kind to them. And that's how kidnappings happen. So that's one way you can see it. Now, of course, there's still, I say, 2 people left. I don't know when the teacher is going to get back in this or anything or not. Who knows? But there's still Tayo, who's desperately looking for Chio-chan to be purified. And of course, Asahi, who also is looking for Chio-chan. But not just that. But when he finds out what happens to Shoko, if he finds out, it's going to be berserk, man. He's going to go mad. Because, let's face it, man. I don't know how old Asahi is, but I know him and Shoko were just 2 purest things in this show. And to see Shoko gone already broke my heart. So now to see him react when he finds out what happened to Shoko, or if he even finds out at all, that'd be more heartbreaking if he doesn't find out at all. That would suck. It would probably drive him more to complete his mission for sake of her. But we'll see what happens. As we all know, we don't know how well Chio-chan knows her brother. Because during that time, when Chio-chan and them were together, she was just a baby. So she doesn't remember everything about Asahi. But Asahi remembers her. So bits and pieces of fragments still remain in Chio-chan's mind about Asahi. Just only bits and pieces. So, yeah, man, we only got 2 episodes of Happy Sugar Life, unless it's a 13-episode series, who knows. I need to go check, it's not being lazy. But yes, Happy Sugar Life, it definitely is one of my favorites of the season, and I have been enjoying doing it. And speaking of which, a chapter as well dropped today as well, so if you want to see what's up to date in this chapter, this story, by all means, man, go check it out right now. You can find the chapters on Kiss Manga, of course, so go read that if you want more Happy Sugar Life. And the same as Metro Girl site as well has some new chapters came out as well today. So yeah, go right over there and check them out. They're very, very interesting, especially Happy Sugar Life 1. So just like that for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and of course hit the bell icon so you get updated every time I upload. This has been Madcrownxox, and I'm signing out. Have a good one.